evening, it's Friday. Actually, let's go full screen. I first of all need a mic check. Get that out the way, whatever that was, to check this is working, because I'm not using that microphone. I am using the shotgun, which you can't see. It's directly above my head, basically pointing at my mouth. Just going to double check that works, making sure we are live. So sounds great. Thank you for that, Paul. That's good news. Good. Hello, good evening. Yes, we are here. We are late. I point you at the message going on behind me for the reason for that. Yes. However, we're going to do our own thing. We don't need no DJI to allow us to get our hands on things like this. Now, tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it. It is sealed. You're going to get my first thoughts, because I haven't seen this drone. I knew quite a bit about it, but I hadn't seen it. And we're going to give you my first thoughts. We're going to get it set up, activated. But I'm also then going to check that the FCC hack does what it should be doing. We're going to check, because there is a bit of confusion around that. And I will explain that a bit more in a minute, but there is a bit of confusion. And overall, you're just going to get my first thoughts. It's not going to be a review. A review is coming later. This, though, is literally my first hands on it. Now, I haven't prepped myself as good as I would like. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for that. I haven't prepped myself as much as I like. I've literally... Yeah, we know it does something, but what we don't know is the ins and outs. Why does Windows Defender choose in the middle of a live stream to say, hey, I've got updates for you? No! Go away! Going to adjust that. In my high-pitched voice. Now, I've only just come back. I've been away. I don't have the remote yet. The remote is coming. It might come tomorrow. I ordered the remote from DJI and I ordered the drone from Amazon. And so this came today while I wasn't here, but the other one did. So JB said he needed the details. Yeah, JB confirmed that it gave more channels in FCC, but that doesn't mean all is well. And actually, there are people posting now more and more that it isn't working at all in CE. So we need to understand. Now, I'm just going to pad things along. Oh, we're up to 145 people. I'm not going to pad things. I'm going to wait to see if it gets to 150. I want to get myself warmed up before we get in. Wishful thinking that the remote will be sent from DJI. Yeah, well, it's actually shipped. Oh, we've already hit 150. There we go. So I'm not going to drag this out too long. However, I have something I need to do before we start tonight's live stream. Let me just get myself ready. Everything tonight is a real rush because I've been away and I've literally only just got back. Now, today's live stream is sponsored by Grey Arrow's Drone Club. Now, let me just put something up on the screen. This is from the team behind Drone Scene, which is a map of recommended places to fly in the UK. They've got a really busy discussion forum. They offer regular competition prize draws with thousands of pounds worth of prizes available. But they also offer up to 5 million of public liability insurance in the UK as part of their membership. If you're interested in checking them out, there is a link to them in the description. But you can also go to their website, which I'm showing you here. There's a discussion forum. It is https://greyarrow.ws. The link is in the description as well. I am going to mention it again at the end of the stream. I'll talk a bit more about this on Sunday night. And it's now time to get on with the unboxing. Now, let me find something to get into this. Now, I've watched one review on this drone. One review, and the only review I have watched is JB's, and I will say this: I honestly think that man smashed that video out the park. The balance on content for a new creator versus, a new viewer versus an existing viewer, literally, I almost think it's the perfect video. And I'm really pleased, if you look at the numbers, that he is other than the very biggest smashing the others out the door. The numbers, it is insane. And I'm really pleased because it isn't always the case that like our little niche creator world gets some view from DJI. And whilst they may hate me, and they literally, I will say this, sent this drone to everybody else except me. And I don't think they sent one to Sean, I should say that as well. But they did send it to a lot of people. They didn't send it, though, to a lot of people in FPV. That I will add. I know Mario is lending one. Albert Kim said he's ordered one. So it does show that I am not alone in being hated in FPV by DJI. So all we can say is, what is scrolling in the back corner? Okay, so let's get into this thing and have a look. Now this is the Fly More, and it is the one with the 3 batteries. So if we go with the overhead, typical DJI case. Scan QR code before use. Interesting, that's new. Do you know what? It has that old Apple new product smell to it. You don't even get that smell in a new Apple product these days. Yeah, it definitely... 1 second. Yes, we're sniffing boxes. This is the box from my recent purchase MacBook Pro. Nah, that's Apple have stopped scenting their equipment. DJI are scenting their gear. See, Bardwell didn't sniff the box. So you've got more value out of me there. Or he's not buying one, did he? I thought Albert Kim said he was. Someone I've seen said they're buying one. Anyway, that's the box. That's it empty. There we go. Okay, so let's go on the overhead and have a look inside how it comes. Quite a big bag. For those who haven't seen the size of the bag, that's quite large. Okay, there's a handle on the back there, carrying it round. You've got the usual shoulder strap. What's it like? So it's going to be more like a camera bag, my man bag on the side. Goggles, they're a terrible fit. I've been told the fit is better than any other DJI goggle, and we're going to find out. So we're going to try. Let's get in the top. And I'm not going to waste too much time on this stuff. So, in the top, before we get to the drone, we've got all the accessories, props. Yeah, you don't need to see that from me. More lenses, all the granules, that's all crap. You don't need that. You don't want that. We'll come back to that in a minute. That's fine. Lot of... That's what a lot of paid sponsors, GDI influencers are saying. People I trust have told me the fitment is much better. I'll tell you now, this video ain't sponsored by DJI. Fuck DJI. I'm going to tell you what they're like. So, goggle, drone, batteries, dildo, sorry, love toy. Should we have a look at the Love Toy 3 first of all? It's definitely smaller than the last one. I wonder if it vibrates. If you saw my little ad about Ann Summers releasing new accessories for the Love Toy soon, we'll start with the Love Toy. Oh, it is smaller. Okay, we'll look closer in a minute. The drone is bigger. MK, it was true on early firmware. I'm not sure today. We will find out in this stream. You know what? I don't like this new bagging that DJI is using. I like the smell, though. It smells good. It is much bigger. Wow. Okay, much bigger than I was anticipating. And just to give you an idea, we're going to want one of them, we're going to want one of them. Oh, and I'm going to want the remote controller that for no good reason at all, DJI have decided won't work with the new drone. Why? Because they're assholes. That's why. Anyway, so the old Avata versus the new Avata. Size-wise, side by side, definitely wider. Let's do it on the overhead. No, it is not sub 250. So to give you an idea side by side, for those who haven't seen, it's definitely definitely bigger. Let me grab a trusted and calibrated, I'm talking crap now if I'm honest, but a trusted and calibrated measuring device. Which is the Mads Tech ruler. Corner to corner on the Mads Tech ruler in inches. And these rulers are calibrated, hand calibrated by me. It is T-mount, I believe. The Avata is about 8¼ inches. And we'll check the props in a second. Whereas that, oh, it's much bigger. Much, much bigger. 9½. Prop size wise, you're getting really rough. That's 3" on there. What's the size on them? I think they're 3" as well. Now, some really interesting quick things to note. So, design of the craft is a bit different. Size-wise, you can see there. Different plastics. And as one of the guys in the stream, let me find you. You know who you are. You know who you are. You are there. Yes, you have. You've been a naughty little boy and you've managed to break it within 24 hours of getting it. Yes, you have. He's already managed to break a motor arm. Be aware. This drone is not as rigid and as solid as the original Avata. So just be aware of that. Brendan Bean's cough, cough. So be aware. As you can see, bigger. Really what's interesting is, let's just have a look at the camera, because this is the really interesting thing. How, oh yes, that is bigger. Okay, so let's get that off for the lens and let me show you this, because this is relevant for FPV. Rigid or durable? Good question to ask. Now let me just also up the ISO on this top camera, because we need a bit more. No, not that button. I'm trying to do it from above. So please, there we go. Okay, so you can see a bit better now. Right, so let me show you the lens on that versus the lens on this. Look at that difference in camera sizing between the two. That is big. That is a big difference in lens sizing. Big difference as a result of that increased sensor. Obviously as well, look how much wider that is. A lot wider side by side in that area. So you're getting a lot more in there between the two. We're going to have to handle this thing in FPV EO4s. Yeah, potentially. Now, externally, that is plastic, not metal. I thought that was metal originally. It's not got object avoidance. It is still VPS. So you've got time of flight sensors at the bottom and 2 camera sensors sort of on an angle at the back. That camera isn't as protected as it was before. Yeah, it is similar. The motors are inverted to the correct way around. And really, externally, there's not a lot more to show you. You've got the battery. Now, very light. Wow. Okay. A position, not avoidance. Yeah, correct. You've got the battery, surprisingly light compared to the original one. Actually, not compatible. Slides in all down the body. And what this means is all of the electronics, because if I show you down in there, there's nothing. All of the electronics on this drone must be a single board running down the bottom here. And we're going to find out, because I'm going to tear it apart. It's not going to be tonight, but it is going to be torn apart. and we're going to find out. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else there is to show you on the aircraft. These are not cameras. I'm guessing the GPS module is going to be on the top. Let me just look down in there. Yes, it is. So there's a board there. So that's going to be our GPS module along the top there as well. Where do we mount the action cam? I think there is enough space here. There looks to be enough space here. Let me just do some. Let me. It's the old one. Yeah. It's definitely not as solid. Definitely not as much. Okay, so that's the Avata. If you have any questions while I'm going through this as well, put them down below in the chat. I will answer them. I'm going to move on to the goggles a minute before we come back to the drone, because this is what everyone is excited about. And I don't know why, because it doesn't work with O3. No, there is no O3 support on these at this moment in time. It should come. This plastic is shocking. DJI. Woo! Oh, they're going to get it tonight. So, the goggles. Let's go to the overhead. The new goggles. What's there to tell you? Okay, let's do some testing first. People have asked, do the antennas come off? No. No, they don't come off. Non-replaceable. They are replaceable, but not easily. There's a piece of foam. Don't need that. Goggles. So, to quickly show and zoom out a little bit, these are absolutely a cross between the Integras and the Goggles 2. So you have the Integra built-in battery at the back, which now comes to this new non-full folding piece on the top that has a frankly horrible hinge. Okay. We have a joystick and back button, which I'm really pleased about. No dedicated record button, though, unfortunately. LEDs on the side for the battery. Nothing on that side there. 2 cameras on the front. You still have the similar focus and IPD at the bottom. You've got a power button, USB-C for charging. And really, that's it on the back. The SD card has moved to the middle alongside the sensor down there. And yeah, that's really all to show you. Now, the big change on this is the face mask, because it isn't really a foam mask like we had before. So if I grab my goggles 2 and zoom out a little bit, this is a foam mask, and mine is ripping there, but this is actually a foam face mask, whereas this is a gasket. It's a bellows type gasket that folds all the way up. And actually what's interesting is where the nose is, there's like nothing in there. That's just that's just flexible. That's nothing at all. Face gasket. Very interesting indeed. Adjusting the tension is on the back like it was before. Yeah, all looking really good. And as I've showed again, antennas, non-removable. We don't know currently where all the antennas are in these goggles, so we don't know if they've still got an X in the front. I don't know if there's any in there. We don't know at this time. We're going to have to wait and find out. So, I know the first question people want to know is, how comfortable is it? So, let me tell you, let me do it. Let me put the worst on first. Let me get my battery. Let me power these up so I can have a true perception. Actually, no, I won't power them up, and I tell you why, because we're not going to be able to see anything anyway. Okay, so, as always, I can barely breathe. Okay. Let's go for it. They don't work with O3 at this time, no. Okay, that's way too tight. Okay. So, initially, I have light leak around my nose. Right there, I have light leak. There is none around the top. There is none down the sides at all. If I do that, it goes. I have a tiny bit of light leak down the bottom of my nose. I'm not worried about that. I can breathe. Wow. Okay, look, initially, fitment-wise is really good. I'll be honest with you. I got no problems with that. I can feel the pressure on my head there. It's not too much. Yeah, I think that's all right. I got no complaints. That's okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Damien's whiny today. What do you want me to do? I'm excited. Tough shit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is get this activated. Now, I don't know have I got the latest Fly app. So let me just check on the App Store, because I didn't actually do that before doing it. Anti-fog, it looks to be the same design. We're going to have to wait and see how it works. We just don't know. Fly, let me just check it. Fly. Let me just see. Oh no, I got the latest one. So, cool. We should be ready to rock and roll. Okay, so let's see what it's going to take to get this up and running. The last thing, just to quickly show you before we do that, is... And there is a super chat that's come in that I'm really appreciative of, and I'll talk about that in a minute. How about the diopters? Yeah, we'll have a look at that and stuff now in a sec. I bought the Fly More, because obviously I'm going to need more than one battery. You got the charger. It's got a power button and a USB-C port. That's all that's on it. I need to plug it into something. They don't supply a charger. Fuck DJI. Now, I am going to need a charger because it won't power up without one. They never do. So, let's cheat. We're going to grab ourselves a battery bank because we can. Let me just turn that on. We're going to need to... let me just make sure I've got a cable. No charger, slower charging via drone. Yeah, it's not particularly unusual that there's in this day and age that they haven't got a charger. Just to show you guys on the overhead. So there's a USB port is there. Let me focus. There you go. So the SD card is where? I haven't looked. Charge to activate. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I thought the SD card was on the back. Or is it under this little sign on this side here? Where it says Category 1. It's probably under that, is it? Or is it under... Ah, no, it's in there with the USB port. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to plug that in a minute on USB. And let's see what that does. Yes, there we go, look. Started to charge. What's the goggles do? Goggles will power on. So we're good to go. What about this thing? So that's going to need to be charged as well. So if I now unplug that and then plug that into there. So the battery is now activated. So it's going to let me turn it on, which is good. I'm just doing the same on this. Excited for when we get a standalone 04 unit. Cam quality looks amazing. Getting really close to GoPro quality. Yeah, it should be very, very similar to the Action 4. It is the same sensor and it is even the same recording SoC as well. There we go. Okay, so we've got life on all of that. So let's go for the first power up. Or is it just a single press? Trying to figure out how to turn the goggles on. It'll be interesting to... And I'm pressing and holding. The usual DJI method hasn't worked. Press and hold in and double press. Oh, wait there. Is it a press, release, press? Yeah, a bit slower. I was going a bit fast. I love the Osmo Action, but that does do 4K 120. This doesn't. Yeah, technically this could, but there are complications with doing 120 frames on this at 4K. You got to remember, this is also doing a live feed that the Action isn't. So there is a compromise here because this is having to do a live feed at the same time. Can you alternatively plug an external battery into the goggle? You can. So you can absolutely run these goggles with a battery at the same time. I'm going to pull off. So you've got the standard diopter and focus options here. So I'm just going to peel that off. Lenses are bigger. I'm really intrigued at the field of view because it is smaller on these goggles. Sensor. So I'm going to look for the first time. And man, that is out. I tell you what is interesting. I saw this and I want to get it up so you guys can see this. DJI now have sensors on the focus adjustment. So you can see and it tells you what the setting of the focus is. That's weird. That means they've put like a potentiometer on the knobs to read the focus positions. That's just weird. That is a big waste of engineering, in my opinion. Okay, so we want English language. Next. 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 Yes, yes, yes. I understand how all of that works. Go away. All right, DJI. Real view on the goggles. Is there a touchpad on the side then? Right. I'm into the real view. That camera is doing nothing. That camera is working. That camera is not working. I'm now looking around the real view. I can't show you this a minute, but I'm looking around, so that camera does nothing. Okay. Pull down. Yes, it's walking me through the menus. Okay, this is weird. Okay. Goggles not activated, limited function. Right. I need to activate them. You need to upgrade it. Yep, we need to have a look. Okay, so we're going to need to plug it in to the Fly app. I already have a cable. We're going to take a cable, plug in. I hope you're all... Well, any other questions while I'm doing this, do pop in. Fly app. And we're going to get then on to the FCC stuff in a minute. Okay, so it says device not supported. And it says I've got the latest app. Now, I've seen people posting this around. Just so you guys can see. Device not supported. Has the iOS Fly app been updated? And the Yes. What happens on the QR code? Good point. Okay, let's do that. Nathan Armstrong, loving the live stream. Thank you for that, my friend. Okay, so I might have to use consumer drones. Get the Fly app. Ah, now it says update. It didn't say that just now. That is weird. That is really weird. There you go. Unplugged. That is very, very strange. Let me just grab a drink while I'm waiting. My overhead cam focus is off, probably. There you go. Are the optics the same with the Integras? I can't tell you if they're 100% the same. They don't appear to be. So if we do go to the overhead and show you, I haven't got Integras to go. They're very similar. You do still, though, have focus control look, so you can see it adjust in there. And there are more lenses in the kit as well. So the new so compatibility. Today, these only work with O4 drones. They do not work with the O3 air unit at this time. Weight of the goggle, just the goggle front piece. Okay, that'll be a challenging one to do, but we can do it. When I find where my scales have vanished to. I have a dedicated set. Do you know what? I have a set of scales that have legs. They get up and they run off every time I want to use them. I don't know how it is. Every time I want to use my scales, they're not where they should be. Okay, try again. Activate. So the app is updated, although it didn't. Goggles 3 not support O3. No, they don't at this moment in time. Okay, so I've plugged in. I'm just gonna, here we go. It's now asking me to activate. So for those who haven't seen this process, let me just refocus. Woo! I should turn the autofocus on for this tonight. So that's what it shows there. I'm just going to take it off screen a sec because I don't know what it's going to ask for. There we go. So the goggles are activated. Boom, boom. We should be up and running. Yes, we are. Now, I can tell you instantly, if you haven't seen, the menu system looks identical to the Goggles 2. It's now prompted me for the firmware update, and we're going to do this all at the same time. So there's the firmware update, the first big one available. So we're going to tell that to download. Connect. Oh, look at this. Oh, it wants me to do it all, actually. Wait a minute then. Let's turn everything on. Power on the aircraft. Suppose we better turn that on as well. Okay. Now it's saying about power. Okay, so now it seems happy. Update. Okay, now it wants to update. So. I feel like it was a month 2 after the reset uploaded, unlocked the Vistas in Goggles 2. It was a long time. It was nearly a year. O3, I am 99% will be supported. I would not expect the Vista and Air unit to work on these goggles. That's what my personal props off indoors. Yeah, not on this. I don't expect the DJI Air unit and Carex Vista to work. Now, whilst it's just doing that update, I just want to catch up on 2 things on the stream because we've had a couple of super chats, and I want to make sure I get them as we go through. Just a huge thank you to Geeksvana, Sean. He is amazing. Love you, buddy. Hope you're well. Further than when I spoke to you 10 minutes before this stream. Short Long Press. Thank you, Mr. Bundy. You are a legend as always. And St. Kenny, 199. Ian, you will love the new Avata 2 in time. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Avata 2 teardown, please. It is going to happen. I'm just not doing it live on stream. Where's the bind button on the goggles? I think it's combined with the power button, if I'm right. It usually is on these goggles. There's no dedicated bind button. It is most likely combined with the power button. But we will check that in a minute. Oh, Bits are doing firmware updates. When they put my real name. I don't think this account, I didn't look what account I've just activated it on. I have a personal account and I have a Mads Tech account, and I think it's on the Mads Tech. Oh, thank you, St. Kenny. Another 199 super chat. That's incredible. But yes, DJI will now brick me live on stream. And what we will all say when they do is, come on. There you go. So, hold the power button until it beeps. There you go. He's not as banned as me. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't know where our name's on the list fall, we could be close. 95%. We're nearly there, guys. Nearly there. It always belongs to DJI. They're not that bad. I just like poking the bear. Are the antennas replaceable on the goggles? Everything is replaceable if you try hard enough. If you're asking, are the antennas removable if, like on the goggles 2 with a pull like this, the answer to that is no. Not as far as we can see. No. Okay, so firmware updates complete. Let's have a look and let's see if they've changed the cameras, shall we, first of all? Hello, Bruce. Pull harder, everything removes eventually. Yeah, that was why I said what I said. Okay, pass through. Right, I can now confirm. That's weird. Okay, wait a minute. What's going on here? Where are the cameras? I've lost them. Yeah, no, still one camera. That camera does nothing. That camera does absolutely nothing. Now I need to know. Right. Aircraft not activated. Function limited. Connect goggles to mobile phone. Well, they are. Oh, it wants me to activate. Okay. Activate the remote and the aircraft. Come on. Get on with it. I have a feeling. No, I've already been told this before. I have a feeling DJI were not ready for this launch. Once you get a screwdriver and a soldering iron, those antennas will come out. Everything is replaceable. Everything will come off. The second cam is dedicated. Wait there, sorry. I've just realised who's posted. Right. Apparently, the second cam is dedicated to sending pictures back to the CCP, so KF has something to troll Twitter with. Yeah, right now, that second camera is not working. Oh, God, it wants me to do the instructions. Where there? I can't zoom anything. So is the second camera less zoomed in? Don't know. We can't see it. Right, what does this want me to do? Yes. Right, so now I've got a little wand on screen. Right, what's it want me to do? Press and hold the dial to the left. I wish you could skip this stuff. Left-handed. Come on. Okay. What's this want me to do now? Use the motion controller joystick to control the menu to move down to line 10. Okay. I don't need this nonsense. So that button, yeah, that second camera doesn't work. So double tapping that puts it into that. Yes, yes, come on. Yes. I don't care. I don't care. Done. Thank you. I'm in. Finally. Right. I'm now in camera view, so I can give you an opinion on the field of view and the focus for the first time. So, let me give you an idea what it's like. Do they flip up? No. So, let me just get the focus right because it wasn't 100%. Okay. Let me just power these up. I just need to have a bit of a feel for both a minute before I give an opinion. What I can tell you already is I can see the edge of the screen, edge to edge, in focus. No problem at all. I can't do that on these. Although the screen is smaller. But I just want to have an opinion. I haven't got the Integras here. So I can't go against the Integras. I never kept them. I sent them back. I haven't heard anyone with a bad camera issue. I knew already. Others have already told me only one. I don't think people have realised only one camera is working. It's not faulty. We knew this beforehand. Other people who have had it have told me, but it hasn't been mentioned in the reviews. But that's why you have me doing this. Brandon just said 2 work in 3D mode. Okay, that'll be interesting. What's 3D mode? So, I'm just getting this set up so I can have a look. Right, okay, so... Okay, so on the goggles 2, I've always had vignetting on the sides. I always get sort of that kind of image instead of a squared image. And I always get blurring in the bottom lens, although it has got better as my foam has smashed. Okay, so there was that. Let me head back to them and let me tell you what I think. Definitely smaller. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, smaller field of view. Without a doubt. However, I'm okay with that. It's not as big, but I'm okay with it. That's okay. It's definitely smaller. I don't have the Integras to compare to. Do the bellow gasket fit the goggles too? No, I don't know. We'll have a look in a sec. Right, so let me turn off. I've got that bloody silly mode back on again. Okay, so. Okay. Edge to edge, completely clear and in focus. I am, though, it is a wide enough field of view that I'm still getting some slight vignetting in the top corners of the lenses. The bottom corners, I can see corner to corner, bang on. Beautiful, not an issue. I am getting vignetting, and now I've lost it. So, if I push the goggle into my face, the vignetting goes, and I can see the whole screen end to end perfectly. They need to press in a bit. Oh, there we go. I hadn't pressed them in enough. Okay, yeah, no. Screens look nice. Definitely a smaller field of view. I'm not unhappy with it. Not unhappy with it at all. Did he just flip us? Can I share the screen via Wi-Fi? Apparently we can. So, I don't know how it works though. So, can I measure the outer two? We will have a look. Yeah, we will do that in a second. The icon is up the top. Let's have a look. So it'll be on the top menu, is it? There we go. So, share live view to mobile device via Wi-Fi. Okay. Right, so let's go on to Wi-Fi. And I have watched very little. I'm just looking for DJI goggles. There they go. It asks for a passcode. Do we know what the passcode is? I didn't read what the instructions said. Watch the live view. Okay, what's the passcode? 123456. Okay, thank you. 3456. Can't be 123456. Password not from Ads Tech. RC Shim. What is the password then? Because it doesn't show it on the screen. Artisan. It didn't show it on the screen. So let me just turn Wi-Fi on. To watch Laura's live view wirelessly, tap the card in the lower left corner of the home screen of DJI Avata. Oh, right. No, you don't do it there. Right. Sorry. You go into the Fly app. So let me turn that on. Connection guide. Avata 2. Camera view. Default zoom. Wi-Fi device found. Okay, so let me just show you this. Overhead. So I've turned on Wi-Fi in the goggles. Okay. 2 seconds. And then I tap on here and it comes up with this. Come on, get off. Comes up with this and it says quick transfer or live viewing. So I'm going to click on live viewing. It's connected. Press and hold the power button on the goggles for 2 seconds to confirm connection. Here we go. Join. Is the pass-through visible in goggles recording? No. My understanding is when you enter pass-through, the goggles and the aircraft stop recording, or the goggles definitely stop recording. Mario has shared this with me earlier. There you go. You can see the live view there. So you can now see what I'm seeing. So let me just put something under that so you can see for 2 seconds. There you go. My understanding is when you enter live view, it stops recording. The toaster icon, no idea. What's the toaster icon? Goggles defog. Wow. It's got a goggles defog option. What's that do? Oh, that jacks the fans onto maximum output. Hello? Has this not been mentioned? I've not seen this mentioned, or did I skip past it? I like that. Jacks the fans. That's a Welsh term. Puts them on full power. What if you screen record? Will both views be recorded? I don't think this will live view the... Wow, that's awesome. Right, so if I now put this to the... Let me get out the menu. See? This now, goggles operating live view temporarily paused. No, we haven't spoke about FCC yet. We've only just activated. Now, let me just give you an opinion on the size of the image in the corner. It's quite small. It's not tiny, but you couldn't fly with it. And I'm back. So, we have a defog. Head tracking, easy acro, brightness, all the usual stuff. Okay, so there's nothing shocking there. If we go up from the bottom, yeah, all the same modes. That's fine. Back. If we pull from the side, yeah, like all of this looks exactly the same. Interesting. You've got no modes here when in CE. So we're now in CE and there are no modes options. You're stuck in auto. So we will say, we'll see if the FCC hack does anything. Okay, that's interesting. We don't have anything there. And then we have all the usual nonsense under here. We'll go through this in a minute. Should we quickly? Safety, you got your max flight altitude, max flight distance, return to home altitude, all of the usual stuff. That all looks fine. ESC beeping. Under control, we've got motion controller options. There we go. We don't care about that. Come back to that in a minute. Gimbal pitch speed units, turtle mode. That's all fine. Under camera, we got aspect ratio, video quality, image stabilization options. Yes, grid lines, internal storage, format, advanced camera settings. And under here, you got the record with both, so that's still there. Camera view recording on the goggles. That will be interesting. We will try that and see what happens with the live view in a minute. Auto record on takeoff. I want that on. D-Log M is available. That's all fine. Display. Oh, God, missed display. Defog goggle. What's that? Oh, you got a setting for the defog goggle under here as well. Enable real view picture in picture. So, what happens if I turn that off? Does that mean it just isn't activatable at all? Let me just see what happens. Ah, right. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't change nothing with the cameras. So what that option does is allow you to have the picture-in-picture in the corner. You couldn't see that, but there's an option to turn it on. Check the menus again. There was a 3D option now. So what's this 3D option? I've got an option for... So let me just go through. I've got an option for enabling real view picture-in-picture. Ah, wait a minute, but you can only have it... Right, so you can have 3D. So, right. Okay, let me check something. So, what this looks like this means, and let's check if it does it. Oh, Jesus wept. What is that? Okay, yes, I'm in the 3D... Oh my God, that is horrific. Okay, that's what everyone was whinging about. Jesus. Give me a bucket, please. That is absolutely horrific. What are they smoking? Okay. Give me a second. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's a shit show. That is an absolute crap show. So, if you want picture-in-picture, you can't have both cameras working. It only uses the right-hand camera, 2D mode. If you turn off picture-in-picture, you can have the full screen live view in either 2D or 3D mode, of which 3D will make you barf. Probably why it defaults to 2D. Yes. Whew. I need a rest after that. That's horrific. Honestly. Is it just slow response? No. It's like looking through a set of 3D goggles at a non-3D screen that are slightly out of alignment with loads of latency. That's the only way I can describe it. A set of 3D goggles with the lenses aren't quite aligned and there's latency. Is that the mega zoomed in thing JB was on about? Wow, okay. Try playing with IPD for alignment. That's a point, yeah. Oh, I never thought about redoing the IPD alignment. All right, wait there. Jesus, that's rough. I'm trying to walk around, right? Right, wait there. Okay, I'm getting... Whoa. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not for me. No, no, no. Genuinely, I'm feeling nauseous. That's not fun. Honestly, that's not fun. That is not fun. That's no, no, no. No, DJI, no. No. We're not doing that. That's not acceptable. Okay? That's a no. Whew. Right. Okay. That's rough. Genuinely, I ain't making this up, by the way. That's rough. That is rough as shit. That really is rough as shit. Right, anyway, moving on. So, we now have the goggles set up, field of view. Okay, so, anything people want to know in a minute. We're going to move on to the FCC stuff in a minute, okay? I just want to, just for those who come in now, people are asking about the camera and stuff. And size-wise, if we just take a look here on the overhead, and I put them side by side, that is the size of it compared to the original Avata. How do I zoom it up? Let me just get it up. That is the size of the lens compared to the original Avata as well. Dramatically bigger. Now, it isn't really fair to compare the width of this to 03 because it's got a gimbal in it. So I can measure it, but that isn't going to be any real factor of how big the camera will be. It's horrible, someone just said. I'm assuming you've used it. That's got a gimbal in. So that's not really a real true factor of how big it is. Okay? How are we looking on battery? A little bit low. I need to put some batteries on charge. Give me 10 seconds. And then I think we'll have a look at this ham file and see what the ham file does. Let me just get a battery on because we're going to want a battery in play to have a look. What about the 2D pass-through? That's okay. It's still a strange field of view, but that's okay. It's not Bath territory. That's for sure. It's not welcome to Bath Town. Captain Bath McBath of Bath Town. Whew. I am still you know what? Do you know what I've got to say about that? There you go. Okay, so I want to do a test on something. I want to try something before we move any further forward. Before we go the ham file, before we do anything. Now, there is some very real talk that this drone remote, and I can't fully test this yet because they don't have the other remote, only communicates via the goggles. Now, it is inevitable that this will fail safe when I turn off the goggles. But I'm interested to see if the remote reconnects. So let me just try something. Mind, this isn't the full remote. So this might not communicate anyway. Can you charge the goggles whilst you use it? Yes. Yes, the ham file works on the Enquiries. So there's no communication between this remote and the drone now. Okay. So for sure, this remote, your goggles go off, you're stuffed. But I can't confirm that on the other ones yet. Okay, so today I have FCC. We're in CE mode here. I don't know if it knows we're in CE mode. It should know I'm in CE mode. Just to make sure it does, I'm just going to pop it outdoors for 2 minutes to let it get GPS. Does it get GPS? It might have picked up GPS. Let me just check. No. Right, let me just give it GPS a minute. And I just want to make sure we're in the correct modes before doing this. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to pop it outdoors and then I'll come back in. I just want to let it get GPS locked because we need to make sure that it is knowing where it is. JB said the hot dog file works. Have to remember, JB got more channels. That doesn't mean it's giving more RF power or it's moving into FCC mode. JB's already in FCC mode. All JB found was it gave more channels. That doesn't mean it's giving more power for CE users. There are things we need to test. Do the DJI Goggles 3 work with the O3 ear unit of Calyx Vista? No, they don't at this time. I do expect the O3 ear unit to get support. I don't expect them to work with the original ear unit in Vista. This will be the first goggle, in my opinion, that's an opinion, that does not work with those ear units. Okay, so let me just make the camera look down because it's pointing at the sky at the moment. Okay, well I can't fly, I can't see a bloody thing. Okay, so it's got GPS now. Cool, that's fine. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, it's in beginner mode. How do you turn off beginner mode? Anyone remember? Safety, I don't want beginner mode. Advanced safety settings. Control, motion controller. Mode button. Oh, right, okay, there we go. It's the mode button, is it? You just look. I don't want beginner mode. It's in the menu, beginner mode, if you want to let your nephew fly it. Okay, where is it? I want to turn that off. It's all be under control, wouldn't it? Oh, there it is. Sorry, there we go. Disable, there we go. Sorted. Interesting. I'm getting an error message. Failed to load dynamic safety data. Due awareness function downgraded. Incompatible goggles, aircraft and remote control firmware. Some features may not be available. Fly safely. Oh, I'm getting loads of errors now. That's interesting. Let me go get it in. Now it's got its GPS. So, it now knows where it is. Can I arm this and it won't try and take off? I can't remember how this remote works. Might need GPS lock on the goggles as well. That's a point. Oh crap, it was after update and I thought it was no, we could have more. Does it auto take off? I can't remember. It will take off. I thought it did. How high? Okay. Yeah, I have a think it takes off. It's annoying. Props off. I don't undo those screws. I don't want to undo the screws. Ugh. In theory, it should behave in here. Make sure it's running near safe. Press the lock button twice to start the propellers. Where's the lock button? Oh no, it's not taking off. Okay, let me check something. Okay. Ho 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 ho. Hello, 60 megabits a second. Wanted to check that. Hold orange to take off. That's cool. I didn't want it to take off. I just wanted to arm. Good. Okay. Now, we now need to have a look at two things. So, the first thing I'm going to do is risk something. Now, doing this is complicated. And it may cause a problem. If the stream fails, I will come back. I'm opening up the spectrum analyzer, but because it's a PC-based spectrum analyzer, it takes a lot of power. File, open mission. Mission was modified. Do I want to save the mission? No. I want to go to 5 gigahertz signal, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys in a minute so you guys can see. Let me just get myself up, open, running. 2 seconds. Let me just make sure I have the correct screen coming in. No, which one is it? It must be that one off. There we go. And then it brings me back in. Hello, hello, hello. So let me just kick up the spectrum analyzer. So we're going to go start. Wakey, wakey. There we go. So we're on. So we need to go find it. Where is it? Hello. Let me pop an antenna onto the analyzer a minute. Aha, hell, oh my gosh. Look at the size of that damn carrier. Oh, it's moved. Where's it gone? That's the goggles links. Hello. Where's the video gone? Is it gone to 2.4, I wonder? Has it gone to... No, there it is. Look, look, look at the size of that. Oh, it's polling. It's jumping. That's interesting. Blurry edges on the goggles 3 any better than the goggles 2? Yes. No blurry edges, but a smaller field of view. That is enormous. Oh, look it move. Look at it. It is frequency hopping live. So these small carriers that you're seeing are the goggles telemetry link, okay? Right? To give you an idea, we've got frequency bandwidth of 5720 to 5850 here. Okay? This is all the goggles carriers. So if I just take them off my head a minute and bring it in closer to the analyzer, look. Woohoo! That's the goggles stuff. Move the goggles away. Now we've got the drone stuff. But that is actually live hopping around, which is not normal. That's new. Should we see if that's going down to 2.4? Jesus, look what it's doing to the 2.4 gig band. My God. The drone is the drone transmitting on 2.4? Right, let me just bring things back a little bit. No, so video is not down here. That's fine. So let's get up to 5.67. 8. Where's the antennas on this drone? I'm looking for the antennas. Give me a second. Hello. They're in the side. That's particularly low power. What is going on here? That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. We're not getting the length. We should be getting a lot more than that from the quad without an antenna. Right. So, let's just get it on something a bit high power. So, I don't know where the video's gone now. I tell you how we'll find the video. Right, let's do this. File, open a mission. Not save this one, and then we'll look at the FCC. Full band 5 gigs. So what we should now have is a folded envelope on the spectrum analyzer. Boom, come on, give it to me. Close that. Right, so what you're looking at here now is a folded spectrum view. And what I'm now looking at is there's the video carrier. Oh, it's gone. Where's it gone now? So where the bloody hell is it gone? It's vanished. I don't like this. Oh, there it is. It was there then. That is weird. That is really weird. Yeah, but I've still got video. It's almost like it's splitting the carriers. See, there, one big carrier, boom, gone. Right, let's have a look what it does when we arm. Boom. Big video carrier, now static there. So, if we now go to 5 gigs, we'll see it properly. No, we want 5 gigs full, single. Let's come back onto there. Hit play. Give it to me. And then, right, so if we arm... that was my antenna going where it shouldn't. Where the hell is that video carrier? Well, bugger me. You know where it's going, don't you? It's going down to 5.1 again. They're still using 5.2 gigs. There it was. So, there it is a second. We found him. That is a 60 megahertz carrier. If we look at the size, there to there, we are talking, yeah, 50. If we actually, let's go a bit wider, probably there to there, 56 megs. That's huge. That is enormous. That is absolutely massive. Massive, massive, massive. Okay, so let's get on with this bit next. We now need to see what's going on the FCC hack. So let me just come back here because I'm missing how many people are asking. Okay, so let's get back on. What analyzer is it? Is it inexpensive? Yes, this is about a 12 grand spectrum analyzer. Are you still broadcasting Wi-Fi from the goggles? Yeah, I am actually. Good point. That won't help. Let's turn that off. Very good point there. Actually, no, I'm not. No. Okay. So, we need to do two things. We need to understand what the RF power level is. Make your mind up. 1 second you're saying fuck DJI, and the next minute you're a man and the big carrier. Look, we like what they do with regards to the tech. That's a big carrier. So, we need to understand what the RF power level is first of all and mark it, and then we'll see what the ham file does, because we need to see, does the RF power level increase? We can't move the aircraft, we can't touch the aircraft whilst doing this. This is a bit of a loose test, but we'll be able to test it nonetheless. So, we need to arm. What's frustrating is I can't see the difference because the carrier's bloody moving. You'd normally have the carrier fixed, and see it's come back and it keeps vanishing. So this is the unarmed power level. See, it's doing that pulsing, which we've seen before. Right, let's do armed. Okay. So now disarmed, you'll see the power level drop down. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. It should come down. There you go. So that's the disarmed power level. And if I arm, there you go. That's the armed power level. Okay. Now we're not going to measure this in dBm. We will, but we're going to use markers. So what I want to do is look at what exactly the armed power level is. And that's what we're going to keep an eye on. The RF on this is behaving differently to 03. I can tell you that already. So let's get a marker for the armed power level. So we're going to want a line. We're going to say peaking. Marker 3 is peaking 38 dB, minus 38 dBm. Okay, and that's where I'm going to put my marker. I'm going to need one of you lot to remember that number for me. Okay? Peaking to minus, you can see it's pulsing, but that is what it's peaking to, minus 38 dBm. Okay. Right, let's get the ham file on the SD card and let's give it a try. There we go. 38, minus 80, 38, the other way around. Okay, so the ham file's in, but I haven't booted it with the ham file on, so we might need to boot it up. But let's see. Sometimes it just reads it. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to power the goggles off and power them back on, and let's see if it does anything. If this doesn't work, I'll reformat the SD card. Okay, let's give it a second. And I've already lost my marker. I knew I would. Okay. I still only have auto. I still don't have anything else. Right, let me format the SD card. I'm a bit concerned about that. Camera, storage, format goggles SD card, confirm. Let's do this again. Okay, so the SD is formatted. 6.3 watt. No, you're not measuring the numbers the same. 38 dBm is not 38 dBm as you measure it in RF power. We're measuring RF signal level based off a noise floor, so don't compare the two. So when you're measuring 30 dBm as 1 watt, 30 dBm on here is not 1 watt of RF power. That is 30 dBm off the bottom of the noise floor. So we're dealing with the same measurement scale for completely different things. Oh, bugger, I didn't mean to click that. I don't want that. Don't open you. Don't you dare open. I don't want that opening. That'll cause me problems. No. 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 Right. Go away. Didn't want you open. Clicked the wrong button. Right. Right, what I want to do is I'm going to create a new ham config file. Just in case. I'm going to go Notepad++. Not Notepad, Notepad++, damn you. Right, so we're going to open Notepad++, we're going to create file, new, text file, file, save as, we're going to have the name as ham_config support, and we want no file type, all types. And we're going to save this on the SD card when I find it. There. Save. Save. Saved on the SD card. Ham_, there we go. So. Can I see the entire screen? Corner, for example. I'm curious if the optics are the same as my old goggles 2. It is a smaller field of view than the goggles 2. And I can basically see it end to end clear. Okay, I'm going to power down. Ham files should do one of two things. It should open up you into FCC RF mode, but also the channels as well. Just going to wait for the reboot. Yes, correct. Carbon Icarus FPV. Smaller field of view than the goggles 2 is 44 degrees. It is a smaller field of view. Isn't measuring receiver power on the spectrum analyzer. This, look, don't confuse these dBm numbers with RF power. They're not the same. You don't measure pure RF. Right, so let's go into transmission. And I still can't get out of auto. It's actually dBm UV we're measuring here. Yeah, I did reboot the goggles. Try and sit in the goggles with the goggles off. See, I'm also seeing other reports of this not working. And remember, we've now got public release firmware. Let me just shut all parts down. Okay, goggles first. Reset to default. Maybe, yeah, I'll try it now. Just remember, anyone who has tested this on pre-release firmware. Today, we are on public firmware. This is why I've been very cautious to say, wait until the testing is done. Powering up the drone. And wait for everything. Just waiting for everything to kick back on. Everything was done on pre-release firmware. This is why I wanted to test. No, I still have I have grayed out auto. Right, we're gonna try something. Let's try the SD card in the drone. Just powering everything off. And now I'm going to have to move the drone, which is going to screw with our RF measurements. That's frustrating. Let's activate with DJI Fly. It's all activated already. We're already activated. I'm just going to check the file is correct on the card. I'm just going to do one other thing. I got two files. I have done them two side next to each other. We will in a minute. That's fine. Hammond full config support downloads. Let me try a pre-downloaded one. I got two. Let's just try this all again. Here we go. Right, I'm just going to try it in the goggles again. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try it in the drone. So back in the goggles, goggles on. Do you know what? They're a bit of a sod to turn on. Just wait for the drone to come on. Ooh, I have had a few people already message me today and say they couldn't get it working. So I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, so... Right, at this point, nothing has changed. Okay, I still can't get into manual channel mode. We're stuck. What I am just going to do is a reset of the settings. Just to see if that does anything. Reset all. The only frustration with doing this is I'm now going to have to do the bloody setup thing again. Hello, does it bind to the DJI O3E unit? No. Is there more room at the nose? Yes, lots of room around the nose. Very good, actually. Ham underscore config support underscore. I checked the firmware and the file path is still there, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll work. Okay, that's interesting. So, I'm going, no, just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't need, yeah. You know, DJI's forcing you through the bloody options. Go away. Thank you. Oh, what? No. Will you sod off? I don't care. I don't want to do the menu. I don't need to know how to use it again. I don't care. Don't care. Come on. Thank you. No, that's made no difference. Okay. Okay, so let's power down. And let's try it in the drone. So, just to catch everyone up to at the moment, I cannot get the ham file to work. Just so you understand what's happening right now. I'm just going to swap this battery that's in the drone because it is very low. And I'm going to nick it with one of the other ones. Nick that one. There we go. Close this, don't want that, don't need that a minute, I'm going to put that down a minute. So at this moment in time, I have formatted the card already in the goggles. I did that at the start. Thomas, just remember, JB tested it and he got more channels whilst already in FCC mode. That doesn't mean A, it works in CE mode, but B, that it didn't change in public firmware. Just because JB tested it and had some extra channels doesn't mean it is a fully functional thing. JB is not in CE mode. This is why we test things like this, because we have to understand. Okay. No change. Okay, that's concerning. So, at the moment, I can't get it to work. What I want to do is just do a sanity check on something. So what I'm going to do is power this down, just to confirm this, and I'm going to do it on my Avata 1 on the goggles 2. Just to make sure that I know that file is working on that same SD card, just so we can rule out any potential issues. Because we want to make sure what we're testing is correct and legitimate. And just in case I've missed something here, or just in case I'm getting a strange thing with the file, and I've tried 2 files, I've created a fresh one as well to make sure. Check the Avata 2 firmware as well. No mention of hammers and support, so that wouldn't be it. What would the output power be in CE mode? 25 milliwatts. Yeah, I've already done my own file. I've done 2. I've made one and I'm used my go-to one. I've actually done it twice. Is it using the GPS and the goggles to region lock? Unlikely, because I'm in the workshop. Downgrade firmware. Okay, so let's just do a quick double sanity that I know it's working on the Avata, and then Vista FCC. Yeah, we could try NACO, but NACO has never been there for these. NACO actually does work on 03, but it doesn't. NACO does do something on 03, and I'm trying to remember what it does. So let me just power this up and reset it, because I've got to reset it first. Because if you don't reset it, it's not in CE mode. If it's a change, it'll be a change in firmware, and it may be related to the fact that we're in CE region. Look, in JB's video, let me just be clear. JB installed the ham file on an FCC drone that already had the option to go into manual channels mode. He already had that. All it did was give him a change from 1 to 3 channels, or from 3 to 7. He was in FCC on pre-release firmware on an FCC region. So just because it worked in the US doesn't mean it'll work in the UK. So let me just get this to where it needs to be. And that's why we do this test. And it's really important that when we're doing this, we don't make assumptions. You can't, just because it works in one thing doesn't mean it'll work everywhere. You have to go through these motions. Why can't you put it in FCC mode? There's no manual option for FCC mode, and at the moment, it's not accepting the ham file. So, okay, let me just reset my Avata. So I know it's reset all, done. Just so I know this goes back into CE mode. Can you spoof GPS on the goggles on the phone? No. Not worth it. You'll just never be reliable. Use a VPN when uploading the firmware. No, won't do it. If the ham file doesn't work, is there hope for a different FCC hack? So there are two options. There are apps, and I'll need to check my subscription if I've still got one to one of the FCC hack apps for the Fly app. They used to exist, and I believe they've done an update today for the Avata. So that's option one. But that would mean having to connect it to your phone every time. Option two is another hack reappears. Do I think the Avata 2 will be compatible with Integra and FPV Remote version 2 eventually? VPN used to do it, but not anymore, Juna says. I don't think it'll ever be compatible with the FPV Remote 2. Other people have a different opinion, including Juna. Juna thinks they're going to do it. I don't. Integras, probably. Other than internet, why would it not know FCC? Because the VPN is not as simple as the VPN. Spoofing the VPN is not as simple as it is. The drone has GPS. It knows where it is. The ham file, right? Let me clear one thing up. The ham file is not a hack. Okay, let's cut the nonsense around all of this, including the bullshit that I put in the title of a video. Okay? NACO, NACO, and the ham file are not hacks. They are DJI sanctioned methods of putting the drone into a different mode that they leak out into the world. I know this because I might have been involved in that happening for NACO. Okay? But that means these modes are entirely dependent on DJI wanting them to be out there. Okay, let me just activate this thing, get this in the right mode. So they're not hacks. They're just sanctioned modifications to the firmware that DJI is more than happy to give us at times. This is why I've always said, and it makes me laugh, on every firmware release, do these modes still work? Yes, DJI will not turn off NACO. They will not turn off the ham file on those existing drones. Right, so let me check what mode I'm in. Let me just unlock. My touchpad is playing up on my goggles. So, I have no options on this at all, okay? I can't set the channel mode. I can't do nothing. This is not in ham file mode. Let me do it on the card. Avata 2 firmware needs work. Yeah, probably. Right. Now, I'll be honest, you don't actually even need to reboot the goggles 2. It should just work. I like the word, and I'm going to still use the word hack. Does it now work? Actually, I'm going to have to reboot. Ah, wait a minute. Okay, let me reboot. You reckon it would have wiped the file from the SD card as well? Let me just check, Junus. I didn't check it was still on there. That'll be funny. Well, fucking has too. That's why it didn't work on the Avata then. It's probably why it didn't work on the drone then. Right, we might have to go around in circles. Right, should we try this again? So, Let's first of all see if it works on this one. So let's just reboot. We're getting there. Come on, connect. Thank you very much. Come on, come on. That's freaking weird. That's not working on here either. That's interesting. Okay, right. Okay, let's start fresh. Let's format in this. Now I can't get it to work in there on it should work on. Right, let me just format this SD card in this goggles. This is a 64 gig, and that's 64 gigs playing up. I've seen quirks like that before. Format goggles SD card. Confirm. It's a good card. It is a good card, but if it's the good thing is we know it works on the Avata. So once I get it working on the Avata, we'll move on to the Avata 2. After all that, you made a typo. I didn't type it. I copy and pasted. I did that on purpose. If I typed it, I'd get it wrong. So. Let me grab the one which I've downloaded, which is the one I've provided. Copy. Paste. There we go. Pop him in. Let's try another SD card, shall we? I'm trying to find a smaller one a minute. I'm just rebooting. That's weird. I'm not even getting the Avata unlock now. Okay, so we need to try another SD card. My hammer's gone off. That's weird. Okay, so let me just find another SD card because some of them are all in the bloody car and they're not in here. Amazingly, I'm bloody short of it. Believe it or not, I'm actually short of SD cards. Is there any in that one? No. Is there any in... where's the other ones? Where the other goggles gone? Where's the other goggles gone? Let me... is there, no, there's not one in that. I'm missing a pair of goggles. Give me a second. I will find them. There we go. No. No. Let me just check in something. No. I have a habit of leaving them in goggles, and I've got a few too many pair of goggles. I know I got one. I got a bunch in the car. Oh, for fuck's... Really? 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 We're playing this game of I can't find an SD card. That is a joke. Okay. I have got an SD card here. Will this goggle even recognize this one? Right, let's try this. camera. Advanced, oh no, not advanced camera settings. Format. Format. Goggles SD card. Confirm. Right there. Okay, so let's see now if we get it on this one. Maybe format it in the PC. You generally always format in the goggles. It's always the safest way forward, because if you format it in the goggles, it should be in the right mode. Okay, so have I rebooted my mouse? So I'm going to power that on, and I'm going to power that on. Hamming it up with Mads Tech. Very strange. Let's see what this does now. It's not unlocking. Not even my Avata's unlocking. What? Yeah, the Hoover bags are... What? Yeah, I just did format them in the goggles too. That's what I just did. Redo the ham file. Yeah, well, this is my downloaded one that I actually... other people use without a problem. Right, so I'm just going to recreate it. So Notepad++. Notepad... I'm going to do it in Notepad. Not even Notepad++. Let me just do it in Notepad. File, save as. I'm going to save this onto the SD card as ham_config support as all files. Save. Close. Done. In the EU with new firmware, ham file is not working anymore. I've not seen enough posts about that to believe that's the case. I'd have heard a lot more noise about that. What file extension? None. You don't put a file extension on this one. It just goes to the root directory of the card. I'm getting annoyed now. Where the fucking hell is the ham file working? This is 03 at the moment. Let me just go and get... Let me just do one last thing. So, this is actually... No, this is a 32 gig card, not a 64 gig card. ham_config_support, yeah. ham_config_support. Right. Let me try something. I'm going to format this in the PC. Properties, tools. I forgot how to format an SD card. Format. Not exFAT. FAT32 default. Quick format. Yeah. Let's do it as FAT32. Okay. Let's open Notepad++. I'm going to completely create a file, new, file, save as, ham, underscore CFG underscore SUPPORT. We're going to save it as any type file. And I'm going to save it onto that SD card that I've just formatted. And that. Right. So just to show you guys this desktop. So that is the file on the SD card. Ready? ham underscore CFG underscore support. I've manually typed it. It's a 0-byte file. It's got no .text. It's a 0-byte file, no name, should work. ham underscore CFG underscore support. That is correct. 0 kilobyte strange. No, it's got to be 0. That's what it's meant to be. Bearing in mind, I've done this about 1,000 times in the past, if not more. Do you think we'll be able to remove the antennas on Goggle 3s? No. You can replace them if you tear it down, but you're not going to be pulling the antennas off. The only thing is the battery's very low on the Craft, but that shouldn't cause it. No. No, no, no. The only thing I'm not doing here... I've got the remote on. That wouldn't cause it. I'm now tempted to do it on an 03A unit. I just need to rebind it. It must have been bound. It must have been bound to an 03. I thought you put it in the drone. No, it's always... Oh, it's always been in the goggles, is it not? Am I going mad here? Because I'm live streaming. The ham config in my head has always gone in the goggles. Just make sure I'm not going loopy here. Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking... Right. Now it's doing it. Now the remote is attached. Wow. That's something we've learned. Just checking. Right. Okay. That's interesting. Here's a question. Maybe you need it for the Avata 2 also. Now then. Now we know where we're heading. Now. So, let's have a look. Check the file's still on the card. Number 1. It might need to be determined what modes are supported. Interesting. So, it's still on the card. I'm going to make sure that's fine. Now then. I'll move on. Careful with your now thens. Okay. Sorry, is that Operation U-Tree on the door? At the door? very much potentially no FCC with the Love Toy 3. You do have to buy the remote separately, and mine's probably not going to be here till Monday. Right, we're powering everything back up. So potentially only with RC3. Hence the reason I can't get it to work, and probably hence the reason a lot of other people can't get it to work as well. But let's see. Okay. Remote is connected. There are a few people saying the RC2 will be compatible. Technically, it's possible. Whether DJI will do it remains to be seen. It was for sure in FCC. Now. Yeah, I can't. I'm stuck in auto. Interestingly, I'm also in beginner mode. Let me just take it out of beginner mode as well, because I've reset things. Just in case there's some stupid quirk of beginner mode. No, I've got... No. It had amazing power yesterday. I could see all the channels. Now it's grayed out. Interesting. So, right now, what I can tell you is this. I cannot put the Avata 2 into FCC mode with the Love Toy 3. We're going to have to wait for my FPV remote to come so we can test it further. Measured everything today with a Spectrum V6. JB had RC3. Yes, you see. So, that would mean... Try rebinding. Well, it's bound. That won't change anything. It'll either work or it's not. That would then mean you're not going to be able to get full RF power unless you have the dedicated remote. I don't massively see that as a problem. But it's also going to be an effect for people. Comet Peterwood, I have, mine is already on its way. It's on its way from DJI. But at least I could set the limit to 500 meters today. Does the Love Toy transmit or is it tunneling? It appears to be tunneling. I can't confirm what the drone is doing versus the Love Toy 3 at the moment. The drone will not work. Let me just move some stuff out the way. So, if we have a look at RF-wise, the Love Toy 3... Okay, so the Love Toy 3 is 2.4 gigs only, by the way. So let's get it down to 2.4. Boom, there it is. So there's the Love Toy 3. Actually, no, it isn't. Yes, it is. There you go. Interestingly, that is very different control carriers to what we had before. John Cubby says maybe they did that for the most new people who are more inclined to use motion control in the UK from getting fined. It's unlikely about getting fined. It's more likely that it's there's some quirk of the communication. Yeah, it's a completely different modulation. Yeah, it looks very different. Very different. They are not both 3. Unfortunately, no, you cannot bind the O3 to the goggles at this time. Does anyone know if a 65 watt USB charger can be used instead of DJI's 84 watt? You can absolutely use a 65 watt. I don't know what the charge rate will be on that yet. I need to do some investigation, but you can use whatever charger you want. Is the Avata an FCC prior to the Harman lock? Depends your country. When you activate it, it'll go either into CE. It is waiting for information until activation. So if you activate in, because remember, it knows where it is. It's got a GPS on board. Mine is CE now because it's activated in CE. Okay, any ideas of an ETA of an 04-year unit? We don't even know if it exists today. The charger won't work with standard USB AC plugs. Well, I got mine on a standard one at the moment, and it's charging off a standard 5-volt USB at the moment. No, the FCC hack is the ham hack. The ham file in CE area unlocked it to FCC power. Well, we think it's FCC power. We don't know. We've never known what actual power level the ham file did. It's more power than CE. I can't tell you if it's FCC. It's very similar, but there's no guarantees here. So far, so good. Yours won't charge. Mine's currently on a power bench, charging at 5 volts. Very, very slowly. Very slow. Oh, it's actually stopped since I picked that cable up. Where have you stopped? You were charging just now. Ah, it's charged the battery. What was that on? Let's have a look. It's on a 5 volt 2.4 amp output. I put it on a power supply. It's just charged that one. Do all of these ports charge or just one? So why is it now? Oh no, yeah, see. It's charging that one very slowly. Yes, pretty sure Joshua said the ham file unlocked in his video. Yes, but you have to remember, I'll stress it again, JB was using pre-release firmware and he's in FCC and he was using the DJI FPV remote. The chances are you don't get ham file on this remote. And that may be the same on the Avata. I don't remember. I've not actually tried it. Can you double check the release notes a sec? For what? We found a flying bug. There'll be many. Anything interesting, DC? Is it falling out the sky again? Please tell me it's falling out the sky again. I will laugh. No. No RC2. So is ham a mode like FCC? No, ham is a file. Its file's called ham because it's labeled ham _ CFG _ support. It is a file to tell the drone to go into a different mode. That's all it is. What mode that is, we believe is FCC. We believe is FCC. It's not guaranteed. It appears to have similar RF output. Did I already measure the camera size? I haven't yet. I put it up against the Avata. If you want to know the width with the gimbal, but remember, the gimbal is built into it, so it's going to add width. So if you want width on the camera on the overhead, woohoo, you're probably talking 28mm with the gimbal. If I get a caliper on it. $26mm. 26. No. The Avata 1ND filters will not fit. The lens is dramatically larger. Yeah, but remember the O3, the camera doesn't necessarily have to be that thing. Battery capacity. I might need a magnifying glass. Jesus, that's small. Right there. I'll do what I have to do. Where are we? Woo-wee. Battery capacity 2150. There you go. Light, and also feels quite empty. Of the battery or the drone? I need to find my scales. Do you know what? I like the goggles. I'll say this. Image quality doesn't really look any better indoors. Looks okay. Looks alright. Not particularly impressive though. Have I tried picture-in-picture? Yes. You're going to need to go backwards to see the horror show that is DJI's picture-in-picture. Does the Goggles 3 work with the original Avata? I assume you're saying the Avata 1? No. Scales. Where, oh where are you hiding, little scales? You should be hiding here. You are not. Where, oh where may you be, little scale, from... It vanished again. I'd love to weigh it. I would. Genuinely. I would absolutely love to stand here and weigh it for you. But I can't. Because they vanished. Again. Like they all... I swear they have legs. They get up and run off. Okay. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Can you recheck 3D mode again? No. I am not... Do you know what? I ain't crapping you right now, right? I still feel a little rough. I'm turning these off. They're killing me. How many channels does it have in 5.8 mode in 10 megs mode? I can't tell you because I can't get into it. It'll be 7. If it's anything like 03, it'll be 7. I am expecting it to be 7. Drone cams. It's a rock lock. 3D might be better since you rebooted them. No, it won't. I'm not making myself sick live on stream. Yeah, it's funny you say a lot of extra room. It's not full. It's not full at all. I can squeeze the sides. Cut it open. 3D mode trippy. Yeah, that's an understatement. How easy do we think it is to get into this remote? I'm not seeing any screws, which is frustrating. Do you think this is glued? What do we think? Do we think it's glued? It's nice to have you. I'm still recovering too. Yeah, Mike. I can't see any screws on the Love toy. When is a full teardown? Does the quad look easy to tear down? Not easy, but look, if we let's look at a couple of things. So let's go to the overhead a minute and look. What looks fairly simple is where are you? There you are. So what looks fairly simple? It's not the right size. The GPS module on the top looks easy to get to. Let me just open my trusty iFixit toolkit. I should have sponsorship from iFixit for the amount of time I've showed. Okay, so let's pop the battery. Let's have a look under this cover, shall we? Let's do an exclusive. There's 2 screws there. This looks like this just pops off. I'm intrigued what's under here, so let's have a look, shall we? Let me just find a plastic pry tool. Aha, definitely moves. There we go. So, there's the GPS module. First look. World exclusive, ladies and gentlemen, of the GPS module on the top. So, when you're talking about mounting a GoPro, you've got that much space there. What else we got on this? The barrow is up here, I suspect. So in this can, I bet you is the barrow sensor. There's a hole there, which makes me think there'll be a barrow. I'm not seeing any other antennas on that board, which is quite interesting. You've got the cable. Yeah, there's 2 connections here. Very interesting there. Overall, there's not a dramatic amount there, other than the GPS. What's under it? Under it is... It just looks like that's the other side, under the board there. Yeah, I can push the back of the PCB, look. I'm flexing the PCB. Can we grab 5 volt in there somewhere? It's not looking good. So that's got the cable that comes up there. Now, with regards to tearing this down, you know, look, if we look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got these 8 screws, okay? One, two. I suspect, with regards to the Gakko, guys, right now I'm leaning on the fact you can't have the ham file. Okay, wait, there we got screws of different sizes. So let me just make a note here a sec, guys. 2 seconds. I'm leaning on the fact that you won't be able to do it with... you won't be able to do it with the Love Toy. NACO wasn't ever for the FPV drones. NACO was for the DJI Air units. Okay, so now we've got some gunk on these 2 that we're going to want to peel. Okay, there we go. The NACO file just went into FCC mode as well. Actually, I'm putting those screws in the wrong place. They went there. Okay. Interesting. Screw on the side. Interesting place for one. And one. Okay, let's just get the sticker. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've got a suspicion that we're going to have to take the motors off. I've got a suspicion, but let's wait and see. I do wonder. Is there anything under here? Hello? And there he is. There is a little screw hiding there. Little beggar. It's a long one. Okay. Oh, we're moving more. Oh, right there. It doesn't want to come. It's starting, look. The shell is moving. I can see in. Something still hammer. Something still feels tight. At the back, especially. We've got that screw out, and we have got two here, but these are in the ducts. And the shell then definitely looks like it splits front and back. Unless there's a screw down there. See, what you could have is, I wonder. So that just drops back in nicely. Okay, so that wanted to come apart. But there's something at the back here I'm missing. I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. Oh, I bet you. I bet you. Wait a minute. Ha ha ha. I got it. I got it. There's a little screw either side that holds these covers on, which is an absolute pig to get to, I can tell you that. Considering FCC, can you try a VPN? It won't work. I'm not even trying it because it won't work. DJI stopped it ages ago. They used to work, they don't anymore. Yeah, it's not. Look, DJI found a way of stopping it. The drone has GPS. Even if you tricked it into thinking it was in the USA, the second you take it outside, it will go, no, I'm not, and it'll default back to CE. It is not as simple as how it's activated. It won't work. Okay. It's definitely moving a bit now. I'm not going to push this tonight, by the way. I'm only going to see. If we can get a bit, we'll go a bit. But if we can't, we can't. And it'll have to wait for another video. I'm not breaking this tonight because I need to use it. No, it feels like, Bruce, something is hanging on the back end. Something's still here on the back end that is hanging on for dear life. The front is somewhat free, but the back is not. The cameras at the back do not want to come through. Second screw in the bottom plate, potentially. I didn't pull the whole sticker up. Guess I could go and have a... No, there's nothing else under there. There's nothing else under that. Just looking down in the tunnel. There's nothing in the tunnel. There's... front end is fine. Look, the front end's happy. It's like, I'll come off. I'm gone. But the back end, not so much. Not so much on the back end. The back end is, no, I don't want to come off. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. Leave me alone. What do you think you're doing here? What is interesting is I wonder if those covers have got to come off. Let me just try that, because there's little covers above the cameras. And I wonder if these have to release. But it's looking more and more like, to do that, I'm going to have to yeah. There's something about these covers at the back, and I tell you what I'm seeing. I think the antennas are in these back legs. I think the antennas are here. So if we just drop one motor off a minute and have a look. 1, 2, 3. So that is the motor loose. That is this whole piece here as well on both sides. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let me just get that up with the pry tool. No screws in that, but that is playing hardball. Yeah, that is definitely holding it. So this that has the motor wire. That side. And then this side, I don't know what's holding that side on. All right, that's free. That's definitely loose now. That is definitely loose. I think to do this, you've got to undo all of them. So the motor comes free there. You have to do that on probably all four corners. That back corner is now very loose. So I'm going to have to do the same on this side. And then we're going to have to unclip this plastic bracket on this side. Let's work our way down. DJI loves this little plastic clips. And then down this side. There we go. That side definitely feels looser. That felt a lot. Oh, there we go. Aha. Now I've got to undo the front as well. I've got to do this front end. You've got to undo them. So we're talking these come off, these come off. So you've got to shift the motors on both sides. So the four motors there. So look, with this file, let's just drop the other two. I'm going to do something now. A super chat would be welcome. Close your eyes, Luke. You don't want to know where I'm shoving the screwdriver. I'm still remembering for you. Thank you. Yeah, we're not going to need the 38 dBm a minute. Okay, so we're now going to have to pop these horrible little plastic covers off. And they are horrible, I may add. just going to get this one off. There we go. Yeah, that's that one done. Ta-da! 3. Jesus, sorry. You're better than me. There we go. So we've got 3. One more. DJI have already voided his warranty. Yes, that DJI voided the warranty the second I bought it. You might not be getting a review from me on this, just to warn you. Because it may never go back together. Just get these clips undone. Come on. Come on. Last one. Come on. Tell you what, these are horrible. There we go. Broken free. Hey, last one off. And the bottom cover. Ta-da! Wow. 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 So, the inside of the Avata 2. You've got a single board all the way down, double-sided. So what we now know is there is a single board that runs end to end. We know it's the S2. We already know what chipset is on this. We already know. But as I am at this point, this really is the point where it's going to have to get torn down more. Because we are at this point. All 04 products. This is before it's ever been flown. There ain't no 04 tucked in there. No. There's no ear unit. Single board solution down the bottom, look. Really interesting. Lots of shielding, lots of shielding. A big metal plate on the bottom as well for cooling, and I can then see all of the other shielding boards on the bottom there. Test fly it as it is. If you break a motor, God help you, right? Because let me just go here this far and show you. If we look now, right, those motor wires just disappear into there. Yeah, I think the antennas are in the arms. I reckon the antennas are here. I think the antennas are in this part of the duct. Is my bet. But look, even if you... that is not an easy craft to work on. You are effed if a motor goes. You really are. Yeah, genuinely. I would just be cutting and splicing the wire. Is what I would be doing if the motor goes. I would just cut and splice. Wow. That's a big challenge. Look, what's incredible here is what DJI have been able to do. It really is. You know, if you look at that, just let me just pop that down. So what we've got is lots of tape everywhere. Most likely to hold stuff down. This is very much tape used to sort of hold connectors, bit of shielding, things like that. So that's just on that one there. We just spin him round. Yeah, this is... They like that, they like that. So, we need Phillips. We want to do probably you. Yeah. One, two. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this shield. Okay. 2 more over here. So the FCC hack works. No, I cannot confirm if the FCC hack works. At this moment in time, it does not work with the Love Toy 3. Chances are it needs the full-size remote. Tell you what that is. I've just realised something about this heatsink. It goes up the side of the drone. Look, I've just realised this. So, if you look at the side of the Avata... We spoke before about the bottom being plastic. It is. But what it's got is this GPS mount. Sorry, these metal parts that come up the side for cooling. And that's what this heat shield is. That heat shield is that. So it's lifting. Here it comes. It is stuck with tape a little bit. Yeah, on. Up you come. Oh, tape and thermal paste. Oh, and a sticker on the SD card. Come on. There you go. So, DJI gunk. And then that's the base of that heatsink. Oh, okay, so in here we have the visual positioning system, SD card, probably RF here. That's the camera MIPI input to the front there, I suspect. Under all the gunk. We've got a ribbon cable here. So you've got 1, 2... So, look, if we look at the antennas, we've now got to the RF. So here's the RF. Actually, I missed that. Let me... Come on. There we go. 4 antenna connectors. 1, 2, 3, 4. We suspect they go into the ducts. Sorry, there you go. 4 antenna connectors. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 2 connections down here. You've got your connections up front here, which we're gonna have to have a look at that. That's not gonna be easy to undo because that is under the thermal compound up here. So that thermal compound is on top of this sticker, which is an annoyance. And then we've got our antennas. So it goes order of black, white, grey, blue. I'm still intrigued where the frickin' motors are, where the ESC is, and where the motors go to. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. They're going down into the frame. Where the bloody hell is the ESC? I don't know where the ESC is. Let me just look at something. See, look, the motor wires are going to the top. No, they're not. They're going... They are. Where are the motor wires going? They're not going to this board. So where is the ES behind the back? You know what? I think you're right. I think you are bang on. I think it is behind the battery connector. I think the ESC is hiding up front. Up here. Right. UFL 1, 2, 3. That is a challenging one. Four. So, UFL's off. One, two. Right, now we're going to have a bit of play up front. Because up front we've got this bloody sticker which is playing silly buggers. Ah, no it doesn't. It doesn't go under the thermal compound. Good boy. Well done, DJI. Well done for not being morons. We thank you for that. Three. Four. And we're going to MIPI interface down. Stop word important, Ian. Okay, this one I have to be careful of a second, guys. I'm just going to go a bit quiet, okay? Because this is the camera MIPI, and these are always very sensitive, okay? So I just need to make sure we get this right. Otherwise we get into a very dangerous position that I will not be able to recover from. Here we go. Okay, so there's a screw down here. Now I need this to be remembered because it's a good job I'm doing this. There's a screw down here in this corner that holds that board in place, which I'm going to place there. So there's a screw that goes there. Oh, I've missed a cable. Now this one worries me. This one is glued. This one does worry me. Okay, 1 second. Now usually you've just got to be very careful on these. I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm just going under the microscope with this one. 2 seconds, guys. I can't get this wrong. So let me just get this under the microscope a minute to have a look what's going on a teardown. Okay, so you are definitely glued. You're definitely glued. Okay, we've solved that side. Okay, that side solved. Okay. Now the chances are this is glued. There we go. Okay, it's free. It's probably glued for assembly purposes. Okay, so that's him now free. And ta-ta. There we go. PCB. Bottom of the Avata. Board. Or no ESC, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Just something I want to say. I want to say a huge thank you for all the super chats. I haven't gone back and read it. A massive thank you. We also have Buy Me a Coffee, which means I actually get more of the money than YouTube take. If you were interested, there's a link in the description. But that's all I want to say on that. But no, huge thank you. Okay, so where the hell is the ESC? I think it's there. How the hell do you even get to that? That ESC is down here. Never lend your new car to Ian. That ESC is down here. I don't even know how you get to that. I'm going to be honest. I'm shocked DJI have gone down this road. Because even for their own internal repairs, this is going to be horrific. Honestly. There's barely any pads. That is problematic. That is very problematic, that design. That really, really is. I think if you're going to want to change a motor on this, you're going to be wanting to do a wire down here. You're going to just splice if you change your motor. You don't want to go into this body. You just don't. It makes no sense. I can see the wires are definitely heading off down the side there. If you look in there, it's gonna be a lot further away to get to. I don't advise anyone tries to get to that ESC as it is today. I just don't see. There's not a connector in the loom. There's no space. There's just nothing. There's just no space here at all. There really isn't. I am 100% convinced the antennas are now in here. This is where I believe the antennas are. I suspect, very simply, you take the camera cage off, which is 2 screws. There and there. No, the ESCs don't blow. The only real reason to want to get to the ESC is really more than anything to replace the motor. You know, you're in a scenario where you want to get to the motor. I am already 100% convinced that they are in the edge of the ducts. I'm 100% they're there. I'm lost how to put this back together. Yeah, we'll be doing it in a minute. Now I'm not going to go for that ESC today. I'm not going to do that. That's horrific. To be fair to DJI, that is absolutely horrific to get to. That really is. The camera cage at the front. One. Yeah, Brandon's video, he had that tree well and truly. He hit every branch on the way down. As I did. Let me just undo the rest of this one. See if the camera cage comes off. Fairly simply. Yeah, so there we go. So this all starts to unclip itself as a module at the front. If you look at this, this starts to come out as a single unit. It's clipped on at the top as well. There you go. Camera module out in one. Look at that. Haha! The IMU. We found the IMU. So we've got the camera gimbal and the IMU. Right there. I was wondering where they hid the IMU. So that's the camera module up front. Gimbal assembly. IMU in that box there. That then. Yeah, there it is. Look, there's the ESC. IMU on the gimbal. It's not on the gimbal, it's just mounted behind it at the front. There's the ESC. Look, we can see it. Why is the IMU off board? A vibration isolation. Yeah. Mads Tech, if we break that frame, it's done. It's almost possible to change it. Yeah. You ain't doing easy fixes on this. So if you go from top or bottom of the quad, you can't get the ESC easier. It's not an easy... It isn't an easy one to get to. It's there though. You can see the metalwork on the back of it. The motor plugs will be on this side of it then. At least we found it. Not easy to get to at all. IMU accelerometers, yeah. Baro sensor looks like it's on the top of the GPS. So we found the VPS sensors. You've got, undo those two screws. You're just going to see the board. That's all you're really going to have in there. So if we, there's Phillips's again. There's a mixture of Phillips's and Torx on this. So you're not going to have a lot here really to see. I'm going to put them there because I'm going to put them back straight back in a minute. Where's the tweezers? Okay. Ta-da. Bet you there's a screw at the top. Possibly even two. Ah, there it is. There's the one, look. Here it is. Is there going to be a third-party duct? I don't see it. It'd be cool if you could swap my giant balls banging together. Ta-da! Say hello to the ESC. Let me get in there a bit closer so you can see it. Boom, boom, boom. Whee. There it is. You're going to make me have to go and get my other camera now to take pictures of this before I put this back together. Because it's going to be no good me taking clips from a live stream. So yeah, that's the ESC. And then there'll be connectors on the other side of it. I'm not going to take it out in this video. But there you go. So we've got the vision positioning system there. Okay, we've got the cameras, we've got them, we've got these. So really, okay, let me just sort myself out a second, just so I've got things in a better order here, because we're starting to get a bit out of hand. Those 3 for that, those 4 for that, that there. Yeah, exactly. Those 2 were for the rear duct. In fact, I'm going to probably put them back in the rear duct in a minute. Okay, so that's that. That's that board. And then we've got the main PCB. This is what we're very interested in. We've got what's on this? Sorry, let me refocus. So okay. So there's the sticky. Okay, not a lot of heat compound this side. This is dodgy territory. Cool. Okay, so there's our 2 video transceivers. Let me just check. They're smaller. Junus, are you there? Is the IE1000 usually that small? I don't recall the IE1000. Is the IE1000 usually that small? I don't think it is. Let me go and grab a ear unit. It's normally a lot bigger than that. Oh no, maybe not. Me being a dick. No, it is. Same size. There we go. Ear unit. Let me get in. There you go. Yeah, no, same size. I thought it looked smaller. It might be, I'm thinking of the Cadex chips. They're a lot bigger. So there we've got our PAs. So let's do something so we can see what the hell we're looking at here. Let me just do something quickly, guys, as we do this. Rah! I need that on there. Let me just do something a bit dull for 10 seconds. And I want, not that one, I want, which one is it? Is it you? No, it's not you. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you hiding from me? I'm after a certain HDMI cable. One moment. Aha! Is that one of them there? No, it's not. Is it you? Is it you, my little friend? Yes, it is not you. No. Where are you? I'm looking for a HDMI mini to full size. I am. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. I need the mini to full size, which will allow me to get the microscope hooked up. HDMI cables seem to vanish in you like SD cards as well. There you are. Found you. around you. Out. In. The charge cable. I don't want that anymore. Right, I'm just going to risk something a sec, guys. I don't know if this is going to work. Doing this live, plugging this in live can be problematic. Huh, found one of my SD cards. I've just remembered where it was. It was in the microscope. Right, let me just do something. Let's see if this works. Come on, let me across Windows. That one over there. HD60. Is this actually on? Yes. Trying to do this live is never a good idea. Plug in HDMI source device live, it really doesn't tend to go well. Right there, let's see. 2 seconds. No, 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 no. Damn you. I was hoping that would kick in. OBS is a sod. You can't usually add sources on the fly. Come on. Come on, OBS. Be nice. Let me do it. Come on, OBS. Be good. If this don't work, I'll do it a different way so you guys can see it. I do have a second way of doing it. Okay. Yeah, that's... I'll have to do it this way. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work. Let me just get myself set up and... Okay, so you're looking at a screen of the chipsets. Let's just... Let me just tilt a bit more so we get the... Do you know what? That looks a lot better than I anticipated it would. It would help if the screen was actually clean, wouldn't it? Huh? But... There you go, that's what you're getting. So, if we look at power amplifiers, let's get in a little bit closer to this. That is the power amplifiers that DJI are using. I don't know what they are, but they're H6WF83Ks. I'd say that's MO85s. So that's a different power amp than we've seen in the past. That's not the same PA that DJI have used in the past. So we've got the IE1000 transceivers, and you'll now notice that there's 2 of them. Traditionally, they only used 1, but they now have 2 because it's 4 antennas, and all 4 antennas are capable of transmitting. So they've got 2 transceivers and 4 power amplifiers. So again, a power amplifier per antenna. So you've got 40x full receive capable on this. and you can see the RF front end. So, okay, that's that bit a second. That will come back. We then got this huge chipset here. 4 antennas on 04, yes. Most of the time 04 does have 4 antennas. Okay, next we need to look at what's under this other can. We're going to get the big one out. And today you might see something for the very first time, okay? And what you might see for the first time is the first official view of the S2. There we go. That's that side of the board. So there you go. Not a lot to see that side. Sundry components, RF transceiver, and that. If I'm doing this, we're stripping it all the way. Because if I'm going there now, I'm going there now. So we've got 3 cans. 1, 2, 3. That's the back side of the PAs. There's not going to be that much to see under there. I'm not going to go into that can yet. Okay? Probably a waste of time. This is the biggie. So, what we're going to find under here is probably, or we should find under here, the Eagle 3T and the S2 chipset. Is what we should find under this side of the PCB. Eagle 3T, S2. And like a clockwork. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the first time ever in a public setting, bearing in mind I have already seen this, but I can't tell you where from. This is the official view of DJI's new Ocusync chipset. Don't get too excited. And it is this bad boy here. So we're going to want the microscope. Let's get the microscope. You're going to need it because you're not going to see it otherwise. And I wish I could get this plumbed in so you could see it. Let's get him under. We're going to need to be a bit higher. Where are we? Get up, 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 get up. So, what are we looking for here? Where are we? We are there. I believe this is the S2. Hey, there it is. Wait for it. Right, I'll have to get a cotton wool bud. You can see S2B2. And there it is, the new Ocusync chipset. This is 04, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is all about. Let me just get this heat compound out the way because I want to keep it. I'm going to need it. Can't get off my tweezers. Get off. Right. So, there it is, the S2. Yeah, I didn't have Teardown in the title. So, there we go. And it's also got a label, 71 on it. Don't know what that means. There she is. That is Ocusync 4. It's a lot smaller than what we had with the P1. It is substantially smaller than the... Just to give you a view of the size difference, okay? Because we can do that. To give you an indication of the two. Let me find it. I'm going to find one first of all, but I should have one here. Okay, I haven't got a chipset because I've removed it off the board, but I can show you its size. Okay, so the P1 was this let me just zoom out because I'm going to need to come out so you guys can see it. Okay, the P1 was that entire grid array. Okay, so if you just see that entire grid array to the outer grid, that was the side of the P1, size of the P1, and then that is the S2. It's a lot smaller. It is a lot smaller. It really is. So it's not easy to show you under this display. The focus is off now. But yeah. Then, if we move along, and we'll just see what else we've got here, and I will show you what else we've got. Just make sure that screen is focused. Oh, there we go. DJI's written 71 on it to know who's first. Yeah, so there we go. And if we scroll along, you're going to see some other sundry chipsets. And over here is the SRAM. No, sorry, that's the Eagle 3T. In fact, that's probably the E3T. Let's just find it. It'll be labelled somewhere. Top or bottom. Four sides. There it is, E3TB. There it is. And that's the Eagle chipset. Interesting B variant. So we have S2BH, the new Ocusync chipset. And it's flip chip design as well. If you notice, the silicon is now on the top of the die. This is the back of the silicon die. So they've actually done a flip chip design as well compared to the last one. So, yeah, that's the new Ocusync 4 chipset. You're going to find that in the new Goggles 3 as well. So, yeah, and then you've got the E3B, and then you've got SRAM over there. Then that's just SRAM. That big thing they covered in gunk is SRAM. As for what else is under here, we do have another can. I just want to have a quick look under that. Let's have a look what under. I'm not particularly worried about that one. I know under that one will be... how are the RF amps cooled? Really through the back of the board. That's right. If you see, so on this side of the RF amps, there's no cooling. It's all under this side here. There'll be a huge copper strip with circuitry behind it and loads of thermal compound. That's what you'll have behind that. Same design they've done overall on everything. Not a lot of change there. I'm just intrigued what's in this little other can. This one here on its own. I don't know what this one is. Oh, okay, so we've got a chipset. Could be Wi-Fi, because remember, this drone has Wi-Fi, so it could be a Wi-Fi chipset. Should we have a look? What are you? What are you? Who are you? What are you doing there? So what we got on that? What number is that? Should we have a look what that is? UMW 2652. What's a UMW 2652? Anyone got any guesses? UMW 2652. Haha, the Wi-Fi chipset. So, UMW 2652 Wi-Fi chipset for Samsung S10. There we go, and I found that chipset here. So for those who haven't seen it, Wi-Fi chipset, there you go. You can see it here, available on AliExpress. Have we got any data sheet on it? I suspected it was the Wi-Fi chipset because it was in its own little can. It's that chipset there. We just don't... Some Chinese thing. Might have found something. Yeah, it's not a lot. Look, it'll be nothing particularly interesting. other than Wi-Fi chipset. You've lost your screen focus now. There you go, so you can see it. There you go. Yeah. Nothing particularly interesting at all. Okay. Where's the Wi-Fi antenna? Someone asks. Interesting. Didn't spot it. The face of regret. Now, what I've got to do is, because I've gone to this point, I've now got to spend all the time doing all the images for repair.wiki, for the FPV wiki. So, you know, we're at this point. We're going to pull that cam. Let's just do the last one because I got to do the images. So we're going to do it because I got to do the images anyway. So the face of what have I done? You're going to find under this, right? And I know already, a big chunk of heat compound and some components. And there you go. A big chunk of heat compound and some components. And the reason we know this is this, right? Okay, DJI's design doesn't change that much. They very much build their products in IP blocks and they drop them on. And I've looked at so much of DJI's work now, hardware-wise. You can just tell, you know where everything is, you know, because they sort of do everything in a block like this and a block like that and a block here and there. So that is some live stream. Now I want to say a few things before I finish this one up, and I'm going to watch the numbers tumble now. Don't go anywhere yet. I want to do two things. I want to say a huge thank you to Grey Arrows Drone Club, who have been sponsoring this. I wouldn't have been able to do this today without them. There's a link to them in the description. They're also sponsoring the main review. I'm not sure we'll be having a main review, but they have sponsored this, and I want to say a big thank you. But more than that, the amazing donations on the Super Chats. Again, I won't be able to do this without it. All of this is going up on FPV Wiki, okay? So the images of the hardware will be going up there. It'll all be up there for everyone. That is the important thing. My advice on this, some learnings. So if we summarize this a bit, what's interesting is what have we learned? So motor replacement is very difficult. You're going to need to splice the cables. You do not want to get to that ESC. There's just no way in hell you want to do that. So for motor replacement, you want to make sure that you are doing a splice on the cables. With regards to other repairs, if you break a duct on this, you're in the shit, frankly. I'll be honest. If you break one, you're stuffed. This is not a drone to break. I might buy DJI Care Refresh now. Do you think they'll let me? Do you think I'll get away with that one now? It's 24 hours after activating. I've dropped it trying to ham and lock. Yeah, I dropped it. The front fell off, right? This is not normal. Send it back in a bag. But yeah, so the learnings are, this ain't an easy drone to fix, right? This is just not an easy drone to fix. The ESC is almost impossible to get to. GPS module, fairly nice to say. Camera module, fairly nice. I'm not going to tear that down. I do not want to tear down the camera module yet. I don't want to risk interfering with the footage because that will have an effect on my review. I think in the end, it's a very nice quad. It's super integrated. it's DJI all over, right? There's a reality. This is why you've got 20 minutes of flight time. You don't get 20 minutes of flight time without this. That's just a fact. You just can't have 20 minutes of flight time without this. iFixit gives it a 0 out of 10 repairability score. Have they done it already? Have they given the repairability score? What is incredibly impressive is just how well it's put together. It is very... the Mads Tech repairability score of... What is interesting is just how well it's designed. Incredible to see them package. What you basically have here is a drone on almost a single board drone. You know, you've got that and an ESC, and that's pretty much it. That's where we're at today. Yeah, not bad. Not good from a repairability point of view, but not bad. I think it's a nice product. No idea what it flies like. I might have to order another one tomorrow to find out. Could I weigh those boards for the wiki? Yeah, I could weigh the boards. I'm not going to be able to weigh the ESC because I'm not taking it out. I'm not going... how huge will 04 be? Look, here's a point I'll make on 04. Don't assume it's going to have the same camera. Doesn't have to have the same camera. DJI may decide that this camera is too big to stick in FPV and not do it. They could just choose to use the same size, different sensor. Don't assume anything. This isn't 04. This isn't an 04 ear unit as you've seen here today. This is a fully integrated drone product. It isn't. There's no 04 ear unit. There's no ear unit in this. It is an 04 drone, just like a Mavic Mini 4, like all of this stuff. What DJI do with 04 will contain that chipset. We know this. It's going to happen. What they do with the camera, though, is entirely open to them. There's no guarantees they're going to use that 1/1.3 sensor. They may say, hey, it's just too big. We don't know. So we also don't know the size of the camera module in that yet. Because remember, 03 and 03 and the Avata shared the same camera module. We've got to wait and see if that happens here as well. All electronic wizardry, why not make a carbon fiber? No, carbon fiber is too heavy. Carbon's too heavy for this. Look, you got to take into account this is the pinnacle of this type of drone design to get the flight time they're getting. This is perfect in that respect. To be able to deliver what they needed to deliver, it is largely perfect. Maybe there won't even be an 04 unit. I think it's inevitable there will be an 04A unit because for DJI to continue 03 means using an old chipset. They're migrating over to the S2 as you've seen here. So it's inevitable. They're going to migrate at some point. You know, it's as a piece of industrial engineering, it is. With C model, Hamfire works with Firmware 1.0. Just remember though, are you using the DJI remote or are you using the Love Toy? If you're using the Love Toy, then DJI have changed something. If you're not using the Love Toy, the chances are it needs the DJI FPV remote. I've got to get this back together before I can ever confirm that. I've also got to go back and watch this stream for certain parts of it to make sure I get it to where it needs to be. Right. I'm going to end this one there. I want to say a huge thank you for everyone for watching tonight. Look after yourself. Stay safe. I will be back Sunday night as usual. I won't be doing this on Sunday night. If you're new here, please do make sure you are subscribed. Share this video around. Make sure people see it. I need to go and hit the button. That's it. Stay safe. I'll speak to you soon.